Hi everyone, it's Chrystal Rae. I am here in the Plano studio. I'm about to do an ocean practice. Woohoo! Excited to move my body. I hope you'll enjoy this. It's just me today, so I'm going to be kind of hitting it hard. I need to move. I have been doing Peloton quite a bit, which I've been doing like these 13-mile runs on my Peloton bike. But you know what I found? It's just not the same. Like, I love Peloton. I'm a big fan. But there's nothing like yoga. Yoga works your body in so many different ways. It works at the joints, it works the musculature, it works the flexibility, the mental strength, the physical strength. It is amazing. So no wonder that this is my life path. I've been forced not to do as much yoga because I've been in isolation. I really notice how much I miss it. So I'm glad that I get to share this with you, and I hope to be doing more of these. I'm gonna make my way up to the studio more often here by myself or with Andres, and I will see you guys soon, hopefully on the mat in real life, in person. Meanwhile, stay healthy, take good care of yourself. Remember that I love you very much, and have a good practice. Bye. Waking up now, let's begin our practice. Roll up back onto your toes and then push all the way back into downward facing dog. Start your breath work here. Inhale takes you all the way up, hands come up, look up, and then exhale, Samasthiti. Hands by the side body. Waking up again, nice full inhale through the nostrils. Exhale, hinge at the hips and take this all the way down, deep forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, walk, float, or handstand back, high to low push-up, Chaturanga Dandasana. Urdhva Mukha, Shavasana, upward facing dog, and then Adho Mukha Shavasana, downward facing dog. Press all the way back. Walk the dog here, just a little side to side, release the head, release the arms. It's going to move around in your body a little bit. Reach back, catch your right hand to your left ankle, get a nice twist, and then we'll do the other side. Same thing here. Lovely. Okay. Bend the knees, look forward. Walk, float, or handstand to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, deep forward fold. Chest and thighs connect. Inhale, roll through the spine, hands up, look up. And exhale, Samasthiti, hands by the side body. Again, hands up, we're just warming up. Exhale, deep forward fold. Follow the breath. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, walk, float, handstand back, high to low push-up. Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha. And drop to your knees. And let's start our hip circles. Turn your palms either out towards the sides of the room or towards you, depending on your flexibility. And then just move in a circular motion. Rounding through the spine, nice cat pose here. Cat and cow. As you circular motion, then maybe back and forth. Flip the palms back around. We're just warming up. Cat and cow, and then curl up the toes and push back again into downward facing dog. Set your gaze out in front of you, and you can walk, float, or handstand forward, top of the mat. Deep forward fold. Exhale. Inhale brings you all the way up, hands up, look up. And again, hands by the side body, Samasthiti. This time, Surya Namaskar, be Ekam, inhale, bent knees, hands up, look up. And then deep forward fold, chest and thighs connect. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift, straight spine. Exhale again, walk, float, handstand, maybe even pike this back. Chaturanga Dandasana, high to low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now take your right leg up and find your hip circles here. 1, 2, 3, other direction. 1, from the hip joint, 2, 3. Now step out to your right and little pulses here. Get deep into the hips. We're just waking up. Nice wake up call for the body. Open the door. And we're going to flip it all the way over into our wild thing and circle the arm around. Step the foot through your hands and then get into your low lunge, forward and back, waking up the hip flexors. This should feel really good. Waking up. Don't forget to breathe here. A little core work here. Lift your foot. And little pulses to the sky. Flex the foot, flex the leg. And then step up into your standing splits. Handstand lift offs for those of you who can. Just lifting back and forth. You can either roll on your toe, maybe take just a little lift. Maybe you can bring it up into a handstand, tap your toes, bring it down. Some of you may even want to hold your handstand here, which is perfectly fine. You just have about 10 counts here to work on your handstand. It's a great thing to do at the beginning of the practice while you're still fresh. So just going forward and back, rolling up and down. Nice. Beautiful. Just a couple more. Keep breathing. Remember, the formula is mass over base, the heavy part of the body over the shoulders, so the hips over the base. And chaturanga out of this. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Drop to the knees, turn the palms around. Hip circles here. So I like to really do some of these releasing, kind of more flexible, loose moves right after handstands to remind myself to not get too rigid, because a handstand inherently works energy lines, straight lines, and really strong lines. So it's nice to release it. And also the wrist after doing handstands. All right, flip it back and around, push back into downward facing dog. Take your left leg up this time, hip circles. Around, and the other direction. 1, 2, and 3. Step it out. Get deep into your lunge again. You've already been here on the other side. Feels really good at the beginning of the practice to do this. Just sit deep into this. Flip it all the way around and open up. Lovely. Step right between your hands again for your low lunge. Forward and back. Waking up this side. Get ready for your handstands. All right. Lifting up here, so your core work, flex the foot, lift the leg, little pulses towards the sky. 3. All right. Step up, here's your handstand lift offs on this side. So the same thing, you can just bend and roll, maybe take a little hop. Some of you will bring it off the ground, and some of you are going to take it all the way up. Some will even hold. So it's your practice. You've got about 10 counts to do this, so have fun with it. Work your practice. Take time to explore, since we're here for a moment, and really make this matter for you. So remember, again, it's mass over base. Mass over base means your hips over your shoulders. And you want to keep your chest and thighs connected, and you want to roll rather than to use momentum. So you're just going to roll and use counter forces here. Some of you are just holding your handstand. Some of you are just tapping. And some of you are pulsing like I'm doing here. Okay, chaturanga out. Upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha, and then right back into your box, hip circles. It's nice to release out of those handstands by moving the body. So try to get some movement through the spine, through the mind. All right. And we push back into downward facing dog. Look forward. Walk, float, maybe even pike this forward, handstand forward. And then at the top of your mat, exhale for a deep forward fold. Inhale brings you all the way up. Lengthen up. Exhale, Samastitihi, hands by the side body. Inhale, bent knees, hands up, look up. Exhale, deep forward fold. Pay attention here. Inhale, halfway lift. Catch the peace fingers around the big toes. Lengthen through the body. Exhale, deep forward fold for Padahastasana. Big toe toes. Big toe pose. Release the neck. Here is a great place to release. Tuck the hands underneath for Padahastasana, gorilla pose. Inhale, lengthen, and then again, exhale, fold. Getting ready to take our head all the way through the legs here in just a moment. So this is just a preparatory pose. One more time. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Separate your feet just slightly and then drive your elbows through. Lift your palms on the back of the shins and take your head through. Now for some of us, that's quite enough. I know in this practice, I was really tight. I hadn't been doing this in a while, so I couldn't bind. But if you can bind, you bind it. And then sit down with me, arms straight as you can get them, right up into Padahastasana pose, our firefly pose. Kick the legs straight up. Arms as straight as possible. And as we release out of this, one or both legs come back and in for our little release into this upward facing dog. Shoulders move back and away, and then right back into box. So release the arms. Circular motion here. Other direction, back into downward facing dog. And the right leg is up. Step it to the right. You're back into the low lunge. You've already been here a couple times today, so feel really good. And then flip it all the way around right into your back bend. Circle up and around, deep opening here. See if you can get a little deeper in your back bend. Bring it back and around, and then step your foot all the way through again. Right up into your warrior one. Circle the hands around and open up into warrior one. And then place the hands down. Back leg comes up, so get ready for our handstand lift offs again. 1. Just a chaturanga here. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Excellent. Tap your head to the ground if you can. It's a nice shoulder release. Let's do the other side. Left leg comes up. Into a low lunge. Oh, it feels so good just to stretch. We're going to flip it around into our wild thing. Take it all the way over. Get your nice back bend here. Press your hips up. Circle around. Remember to breathe. Open your heart. Lovely. And step it all the way through. Warrior one. Brings you up. Circle the hands around. Find your warrior one. Excellent. And then here's our handstands. Again, plant the hands down. Take time to set this up. And work some handstands here with me. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Excellent. Walk floater handstand to the front of your mat. Go right back into Padahastasana, your gorilla pose. Tuck the head, chest and thighs connect, release the neck. Get ready. We're going to go right back into our Padahastasana pose. So get your shoulder behind the knee, both sides. Walk your hand up the back of your shin, tuck your head in. Now for some of us, we might stay there. That's fine. If you can, reach around and bind, then you do that. Maybe even catch the fingers today. Either way, release. Drop the hands down, straighten the arms as much as you can. Drop the bum below the, and then lift up. Yes. Both feet come in, one or both, and then we're going to float this back. Chaturanga out of it. Upward facing and downward facing. Walk it back up on your mat if you've come off the mat. And we'll continue on. A little breather here. Bend the knees, look forward. Walk floater handstand, top of the mat. Exhale, deep forward fold again. Inhale, roll through your spine, bring it all the way up. Extended mountain pose, hands to the sky, look up. Exhale, Samasthiti, hands by the side body. Inhale again, bent knees, hands up, look up. Exhale, deep forward fold. Chest and thighs connect. Inhale, straight line of energy, halfway left. Plant your hands, set this up. Walk, float, handstand, maybe pike it back. High roller push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Lovely. And we bring our right leg up. hip circles. Step it out to the right side. Deep lunge here. Going for a next move here, you can begin your compass pose. You can take this with the back knee down, or as I'm doing here, extend it out. Open your chest to the sky. Straight lines. And release out of it. And flip it over to the other side for your wild thing. Bring it back and around. Right leg is still up. And then step it through. Circle around. You know where we're going. Right back into our warrior one. Find your warrior one. Plant the hands on either side of your front foot. Back leg comes up. Again, you get to work your handstand here. We're going to do some switches in the air. Handstands, I guess you call the scissor legs in the sky. So do your scissor legs in the sky here. It's a good way to build stability in your handstand practice. See if you can hold the handstand at some point of the scissor legs, like a little pause point. Yeah? Arms straight, gaze forward, mass over base. Chaturanga, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right back into your box. Turn the palms around. Hip circles right after those handstands. Again, I love to come into this pose because it really helps me not be so rigid and sore. The problem with getting really rigid is that it can lead to injuries. All right, now just sit back on your heels. Keep your toes curled and flexed, and then press your hips up off the heels. So hips up. Bring it forward. Round through the spine. And then press back into downward facing dog. And bring it up. Back down. Press the hips up. And back down. Let's do that again. Release the neck. I'm going to take some little yogic jumps here. So bend the knees and just allow yourself to come up. So for some of you, will come a little higher, and some are just going to take little baby hops off the ground. That's fine. Some of you are going to bring it up and hold, and you know who you are. You just hold it. Nice, tight body. Couple more. Heels into the bum. Mass over base. Arms straight. Don't do what I'm doing here in this video. Arms straight. There we go. Nice. Some of you can take it in and go straight up in the handstand. You're welcome to do that as well. And then drop down into your knees and press up into your hips. So I like to do this counter pose after that because our hip flexors can get really tight with our yogic jumps. All right, push back in the downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up. Step out into your lunge. By now you know where we're going. We've done quite a few of these. Get really deep in your lunge. Come around underneath. We're going for that compass pose again. You can take baby compass by dropping the back knee down or extending and opening this up. Nice straight lines of energy here. This is a challenge. Let's flip it back and around. Go right back into your wild thing. Open up your heart. Keep back bend here. And step the foot through. Come all the way up. Switch the arms all the way around into your warrior one. Lovely, lovely. Plant your hands down. Back leg goes up. Again, you can just simply roll on your tiptoes and get used to shifting the weight to your hands. Or you can take those little lift offs. switch the feet for your scissor legs in the sky. See if you can keep your arms straight. Mass over base, lovely. Use your breath here. Don't forget to breathe. Couple more. Maybe even hold it. Some of you will be holding these in the sky. And then chaturanga out. Upward facing dog. Maybe tap the back of your head and then push back into your box. All the way back into your half bridge pose. Press the hips up. Back down. Hips up. Back down. Couple more. Hips up. Back down. And up. Hold it here. And back down. Plant your hands. Curl up your toes. Catch your breath. Gaze is forward. Reset button here. Bend the knees, look forward, and then find your yogic jumps again. So pull the knees into the chest, squat low, bend the knees, and roll forward. Yes, arms straight, gaze forward. A lot of compression here. Pulling the heels into the hips and the thighs into the belly. The tendency is for us to want to come up, so try to resist that and bring the thighs into the hips. All right, chaturanga out. Press back into downward facing dog. Tiptoe forward to the front of your mat. Halfway lift. Tuck the hands underneath. Exhale, deep forward fold for your gorilla pose, Padahastasana. You know we're going for our Padahastasana, so relax here so you can be nice and loose to come into your bind first. Release the hands, waddle the feet out just a little bit. Take one elbow through, then the other, and then pop your head through. Walk your hands up high on the shins, as high as you can. Every day you want to get a little bit deeper. Doesn't matter if you get it, it matters that you show up. So we practice for progress, not for perfection. You reach around and bind. Lovely, lovely. And then drop the hands down, arms straight, bum down, feet to the sky, gaze is up. Strong core here, strong arms. Nice little counterbalance. You can straighten your arms. And then we're going to take one knee in or both feet in and float out of this. Yes. That wasn't so graceful, but I'm sure some of you can do a little bit more. Tap the back of your head and then back into our hip circles. Remember, you can turn your palms around and release the wrist and the shoulders. Move through the body. It's a nice little reset. And then sit back on your heels, but this time take your right foot and bring it forward. Press up. 2, 3. Really move to the hips. And we're going to step right up into our crooked tree handstand lift offs. If you don't have a crooked tree, you're just going to roll like this. Just going to bend and roll, and that's perfectly fine. It really does help for you to mimic the movement. When you're feeling a little more comfortable, then you're going to let yourself come up, make a little tap, and maybe even a little pause in the sky for our crooked tree pose. This is actually one of the easiest handstands to do because it's a nice counter pose, especially if you have long legs. 3. And just keep using your breath here. And chaturanga out. High to low push up. Drop to the belly. Upward facing dog. Tap the back of your head. Back to your box. Hip circles. Oh, that feels so good. Excellent. Other direction, if you haven't already gone there. Sit back on your heels. Take your left leg out. Press up, back down, and up, back down, up and down. Keep pressing the hips up and off the bottom foot, up and back down, up. Shift the weight forward, plant your hands, find your breath. Here we go for our crooked tree on this side. Again, you can bend and roll just like this, or you can take a little lift off, and some of you will even hold this in the sky. Here we go. 1, just follow your breath. Have fun with this, play. Take time to set it up. There's no hurry. You don't have to follow my rhythm. I want you to work your practice, not my practice. Yeah? Forward and back. Excellent. And then chaturanga out. Tap the back of your head for modified upward facing dog, and then all the way back to Adho Mukha Shavasana, downward facing dog. Right leg comes up, step to the right. This time, instead of going into compass, what we're going to do is work our head behind the ankle pose. So you can just start by bringing your head to the ankle like this. You can stay there. Some of you will be able to get your head through, and some will be able to put your shoulder through like I'm doing here. Once you get your shoulder through, reach around the top arm and catch the bottom arm. Pull the bottom arm straight. So it's really preparing you to get into Padahastasana here in a minute. And then from there, you can go into your modified compass, dropping the back leg down or keeping both legs straight as you open this up. Working energy lines. This one's a challenge. And we release out of it. Take our foot back into the sky and then all the way over to the other side for your wild thing back bend. So open up your heart, really open up through the body, front side of the body extends as the back body contracts. We're still on the right side, take your right leg up. Pull the knee to the nose, plant the foot right between your hands. Follow your breath as you come up into Warrior One. From your Warrior One, straddle down. Take your back leg straight up into the sky. Roll up on your tiptoes, bend the bottom leg. Bend and roll. Some of us will stay here, just bend and roll. Others are going to kick this up. Here's your scissor legs. Remember, if you can stop in the middle, that's great. Take a little pause and then continue on. And some of you are just going to stay up in your handstand. If you're working on your handstand holds, you're welcome to stay up. Some of you are just rolling. So this is your practice, no one else's practice. Your breath is important here. Arms straight, heart. All right, chaturanga out of this. Drop to your knees. Find your hip circles all the way through. Tap the back of your head if you can. And hip circles. There we go. Remember, you can flip your hands around if that feels good to you. And whatever way direction you're going with your hip circles, you can turn it the other way. And then sit back on your heels for your modified hip press. Your back is always nice to do, especially after working all those compression poses. Modified little back bend there. Push back into downward facing dog. Bend the knees. Sit back. And then roll forward. Now for some of us, we're going to stay with this today. We're just going to sit back and roll forward. Others are going to take one leg up, and others are going to take both, right up into our Yogic Jumps. Remember, we're working on compression here. So you want to sit low and then roll forward. Keep the chest and thighs connected, heels to the hips if you can. The tendency is for the feet to come up and open up. And that's just normal for a beginner. And it's a little more challenging to work on that compression. But with practice, we make progress. Oh, I just went right up into my handstand. And that's how we grow. So we're working on progress with practice, not perfection. All right, so it's like your modified upward facing dog. Roll through and then push back into a box again and all the way back into your downward facing dog. This time your left leg is up. You have two sides of the body to work on. Step it out Get low into your low lunge. You should be feeling really nice and open. We've done this so many times during this practice. Little pulses. And then we're going for that foot behind the head behind the ankle pose, which again, you can just take your head down. It doesn't even have to go. Some of you are going to hook the head around like I'm doing, and some are going to take the shoulder through. It's a really good preparation for Padahastasana. And if you can, find your balance point, reach around and catch your bottom arm and pull it straight. And we hold it here. Okay, and then slowly coming out of it, we're going to go right into our compass pose. So prepare for that. You can always take your baby compass by dropping the back leg down into a knee. And then straighten, straighten, straighten. All energy lines are straight here. Back up into the sky. And then flip it over for your wild thing back bend. So scoop it up. Should be feeling nice and open now. So get deeper into your back bend. Really open this up. Enjoy. And then bring it back and around. And step your left leg through. Back leg follows. You're at the top of your mat. Deep forward fold. Let's take a moment here to open our shoulders again. They're getting pretty tight at this point in the practice. We've done a lot of handstands, a lot of Padahastasana, a lot of arm balances. All right, separate your feet. Bring your elbows through first, shoulders second. Pop the head through. See if you can work your hands up on the back of your thighs. I'm feeling really tight today. This is a hard one. Whew. See if you can get your head to go through. Shoulders through first, then the head. Some of you will find this easy and you go right into your bind. Yeah. Once you release the bind, plant the hands down, sit your bum down on the back of your arms, hips low, heart high, feet to the sky. Find your breath. Straighten the arms to your degree of flexibility. At this point in the practice, the arms start to get a little shaky. And then press back. Upward facing dog, modified up dog, tap the back of the head. Whew. Hip circles. Feels so good at this point. Other direction. Then sit back on your heels again. Guess what? Guess what? We made it. Whew. Take your hands to your heart. A moment of gratitude here for completing a beautiful practice with me today. And then we're going to make our way down into our Shavasana. So from your box, sit down into Hero's Pose first. So move the feet out of the way. This will be a nice release for all the compression that we've done today. And then sit back into a full Hero's Pose and just relax here. Now if that's too much for you, you can just sit back on your heels. You can also roll up a towel and put it under, like a little small hand towel, and put it underneath your knees if your knees hurt. Let's come out of that though. Pull your right knee in and then roll it over for a nice little asymmetrical twist. And then we're going to do the other side. So flip it over to the other side. Oh, that feels so good. Releasing the low back. Lovely, lovely. And then we finally make it into the most important pose of our practice, our Shavasana. So join me here in Shavasana. Close the eyes. You have plenty of time here to recover. You did a great job today. This was a really challenging practice. I know because I took it. So thank you guys for taking it with me. And let me know if you like this voiceover version of the class, and I'll do it for you again if you do. I love you very much, and I hope all is well in your world. I'll see you soon. Namaste. Well, that was not all easy. I haven't been practicing as much, and boy, you can really feel it when you get back on the mat. It did feel good. But I really was having a tough time up there. So thanks for joining me today. I hope to see you soon. We'll be doing more of these for sure. But for now, time for me to go get hydrated. I love you very much. Stay safe in this time of change and opportunity for introspection. Remember that. Love you. Namaste.